What's up, Dolphins fans? Jacob here, Miami Dolphins Syndicate. We have the second day in a row of the Miami Dolphins signing a player. This time is going to be cornerback Bryce Thompson. This is Bryce Thompson's third stop in professional football, starting off with the New Orleans Saints, where he came out as an undrafted free agent after 3 years with the University of Tennessee. He also just previously played with the XFL Seattle Sea Dragons, got to the first round of the playoffs in a 7-3 season with the Seattle Sea Dragons. In college, he had 8 career interceptions before moving on to the draft, where he did, like I mentioned, go undrafted, played a few games with the Saints and then to the Sea Dragons. And he comes into a very loaded Miami Dolphins cornerback crew, which already sees Cam Smith coming over in the draft. Of course, Jalen Ramsey coming over with trade, Xavier Howard, Trey Will coming back from injury, Nick Needham coming back from injury, and just a very deep cornerback core. And I think this is just nothing more than taking a chance on a guy that has showed promise. All the stops he's been at, and from what I've seen with Seattle, the Seattle Sea Dragons, he's athletic. He can play mostly inside corner. However, if he's needed to, he has had moments where he's played outside. Most of his time in college, he played outside corner. But in the NFL, being that he's only 5'10", we've seen him mostly play inside corner as well as in the XFL with the Sea Dragon. He is undersized. He's quick. But again, I just see this as a depth signing, as somebody who's going to compete for a spot, because I think what we've seen from Mike McDaniel and the coaching staff is that you cannot have enough corners. The modern NFL has gone in the way of passing, and if you can't line up against the other team's wide receivers, you don't have a chance. And teams are really stacking up their wide receiver core. We've seen that no team can really have too many wide receivers. The Bengals just drafted another receiver, as well as it looks like they're keeping their whole core intact from last season. And this is how every single team's going. You are going through the air for your offensive attack. And quite frankly, if you can't stop them on the defensive side, if you can't stop the pass, good luck. This team now adds a corner who, I probably don't expect to make the team. He's bounced around, went undrafted, Saints, then to the XFL, had a good career in the XFL, had 2 interceptions in the XFL, helped his team to a 7-3 record where he played all 10 regular season games and did lose in the first round of the playoffs there. And he had a good showing, and we've seen some of these XFL players start to get signed to some NFL rosters. We saw Ben DiNucci from the same team, the Seattle Sea Dragons, just got signed to the Denver Broncos. So we're seeing guys from the XFL come over, and now let's just see how much of impact they make. That's the whole point of the XFL, was to give these guys that were fringe NFL guys, maybe outside of a team, that wanted a second opportunity to prove themselves, to come back into the league, that they can have an impact on an NFL roster. I'm really excited to see whether Bryce Thompson can do that for the Miami Dolphins. I'm not extremely hopeful. This is just a signing that, you take a shot on a guy. He's only 23 years old. He can play multiple areas in the cornerback position. And, if he works, cool. That you just found yourself another diamond in the rough, which the Dolphins specifically have done really well at on the defensive side of the ball, with some of his corner mates, with Trey Will, who was really blossoming last preseason before he went down with the injury. Of course, also Nick Needham, who plays the same position as Bryce Thompson. So a little bit of competition there between 2 undrafted players, with Nick Needham and now Bryce Thompson coming over. What do you think of this signing? Do you know anything about it? Have you been watching some XFL football? Because, to be honest with you guys, I have not been watching the XFL. I've been watching the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, and pretty much anything except the XFL. So if you've actually watched this guy play, whether it be the Saints, whether it be college, whether it be the XFL, let me know what you think of the guy, whether you think he has a legitimate shot to make the roster. Let me know that down below in the comments. Thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. Take care, everybody.